Good afternoon and welcome to today's closing stream. Starting up a little bit early because we're walking into an interesting time, so I wanted to hop on just in a little bit. Patreon members, we were kind of just talking back and forth about some things in there and talking about the risk of something going on here. Seeing risk of this melt up into the end of the day, but not able to see that resistance fully come in yet at 590 means we extend to 591, which puts you in a rough spot. But if we think about this critically, we can say the next opportunity would be down at lower levels. Also, just a quick note at the beginning of this video, we are still having that course sale for 80% off the full technical analysis course down in the description if you want to grab it. Only a few days left, literally like 4 or 5 days left for that. And let's go, John T. Yeah, so I was really looking at this, and if I think very simply, I just think of right shoulder that could have been. The only reason that this move is tricky and why we could see that kind of melting up thing if this 30-minute doesn't fully confirm down, right? We just do something like this real tight. The only reason I'm looking at that is because we did get this weird like wicking like look here where if it would say if we extend these hours out, then maybe that's unnecessary, okay? So shorting this overall move, you could see some kind of little move down like this that then just goes right back up. If we're taking into consideration how we normally discuss markets, then we would still be discussing this zone right here getting retested for the time being, even a breakdown down to lower levels. As you go over to volatility, you're going, man, that 30-minute has been going down for a little bit of time. I think I just drew somewhere. I want to get rid of that. Going down for a little bit of time. At this point, the 15-minute has diverged on the MACD, not the RSI at the same time. The 5-minute is suggesting that we could see a little turnaround from volatility here. You have a sneaky gap right in here, which is where like this gap could be the target, and then we end up falling back down, right? And we continue to squeeze higher and higher. This would lead into like risk going into this weekend again. So I am more inclined to like the fact that this would go up really quickly, right? Maybe Wednesday before FOMC, and that would cause the SPY to actually pull down into this zone in some way before ramping up to go higher. We are above the 95% line in the sand, so if you are still in calls, you are in that 1% moment and you have some decisions to make as we go into the last couple hours of the day or last hour and a half of the day. And so I would just be looking at the type of decisions especially if you're 0 DT, 1 DT, 2 DT, even Friday DT. These type of levels would be if I'm Friday, maybe I'm looking to make some money in the play, but also leave runners. This also would say, hey, there's the monthly expected move. So if we're going to close down, right, if we're going to see this reject, if we're going to see that 2-hour just reject right now, right, we have not taken out this entire bar. There is still risk of seeing that because we want to land in these monthly moves. It really looks like we don't have to. The 30-minute trend looks really good, but there's just too much of this algorithmic buying here for me today. And so I have notified you. If you ever want to see if I've sold something, I will put it into the Patreon money making talk. I did sell anything related to the SPY as far as calls. I am still holding on to SoFi, nothing to do there. I have plenty of time there, but SPY I only had for a couple of weeks. So I wanted to just be like, wow, this is a 1% day. I'll take a double and I'll be good. I like this so far, but this is looking very algorithmic to get into potential big sellers. So it still looks great. It looks like we want to head up, and I'm just scared that we need to do this first before we head in that upward direction. 30-minute overbought. I get rich just by watching, right? Hell yeah. Rich in spirit, my friend. It depends. It depends on when you actually make those decisions, right? Do you assume risk at lows to see if that high point comes when you have divergence that has confirmed? Well, then you're benefiting from that and you're past the decision for Monday. You're at the decision for almost the entire week. So you're at a weekly expected move, which means the options market does not necessarily plan for something like this, right? It would be unexpected to do this. So we should expect what as we get to these type of levels this quickly, right? This is why I'm worried about it. This is why I was saying 590, maybe 591. I thought we should get there a little bit quicker and then just start to pull back throughout the day. Looks like we're leaking this higher and we have these lines and other people don't. So at the same time, it's like, are we going to get something completely unexpected, or are we going to see us walking up the plank into some kind of bull trap? And this would just be like a 1 or 2 day bull trap. I don't think it would be like wham, but just in case it is, I'm taking my SPY longs off here. It should theoretically, with how things are looking in the charts, how it's looking with price action, it is going to continue, is what the charts are saying. As far as volatility goes, it's breaking down to that critical point that we talked about. Remember, we talked about volatility breaking down into this bar right here. Well, you're pretty much there. The SPY is just reaching up very quickly, and now you have a ton of 5-minute divergence. So this means that the most likely thing, if you want me to hear me say the most likely thing, is you're going to go retest this zone for a pullback on the 30-minute where everyone starts to get out of stocks. And then by that time that the FOMC comes in, that's where you could ramp up and see this thing do something unexpected, right? If it is going to fall, well, then this might just be a hiccup type moment, and you go like this, use it as resistance, and then head lower, and you show that pathway down. And that would be how we end up at the other weekly expected move. You're at the weekly expected move on Tuesday. It's a shortened trading week. There's a lot that can happen. So overall, take these lines out of consideration for a moment, right? Get rid of the drawings and just go, what did we do? Right? I can't like draw into it, but we took out this high. So if we have a successful retest of this area right here, that's a good thing. So that tells me for now, though, using my, certain lines, right? Using those lines, right? I was supposed to have these off. We have a good trend, right? The trend is reversing around. If we dictate a higher low, we go higher, right? That's the simple way. And then we just look like, hey, if I'm in longs now, though, how risky is it to really see one of those drops to go higher? Okay, let me see. Well, I have a monthly and a weekly like right there. So that says we can go a little bit higher, but there's risk of doing all of this tomorrow. Yeah, or I really thought that might start today. I thought it would start by end of day today, but even right now, you're seeing the 5-minute try to hold its previous low again, right? It's holding its last block that it made. So you still get continued highs. I was really looking at this too. I was like, okay, this divergence is starting to get more and more significant. So we are really walking up into some potential risk, or we're going to have to squeeze the crap out of this thing from this level to not get a mean pullback here. I guess moving sideways makes a lot of sense too. Just chop back and forth. Like chop, just kind of show way higher, show way higher, and then you start to go, right? All week into next week. That makes a lot of sense to me. But I'm more inclined to believe like this market's really trying to gear up for things and really trying to get out of things. So I'm more inclined to be like, okay, we do this. They say I'm out. They overreact. And then we just do this and we have left head, right shoulder. We'll see. But I just think for the day, the job is done, especially if you're in 0 DTs. I wish I took 0 DTs. Fuck that. Or not 0 DTs, but I wish instead of giving myself 2 weeks, I wish I gave myself like a week. Those would be worth bank. Yeah, so you have the risk of seeing an all-time high move, or not an all-time high move, but you have the risk now. Remember when I said, oh yeah, the market could do this? Remember when I said this? The market could literally do this and then pull back and then go up again and set like a perfect trap for Thursday, Friday, right? The 2-hour, right? That 2-hour divergence right here. It could set that with this type of price action. So I am inclined to sit here and go, well, if we want to remain healthy, we got to go back down to here. That's what I think. Dude, yeah, some people were, once again, I actually looked on it as well. Some guy on Twitter saw it. There were more of those funky wicks that you saw last week that kind of held the market up. Like they're trying to test something again. It's super weird. It's crazy that those things, like, it's not popping up in my trading view, but people are saying it's popping up in theirs. And I'm just like, and they're showing pictures. So I'm just like, wow, okay. So why am I not seeing it, damn it? On Robinhood it shows. I gotta pull up my fun account for this. Thoughts on VIX and gold? Gold, I think it's just it looks like it could be a pullback because you got too high up. 2-hour pullback was our assessment on gold. Did you break this low? Uh-oh. If you don't break that low, this 2-hour might not be turned down for too long. Let's go look at futures. That might give us a good idea because we're in that zone. Have we ever seen us peek our head below these things? No, you haven't. So this 2 hour could literally turn back up right now. If gold is going to gain some major strength as well, I don't know if that necessarily means good things for the market. As you look at the daily time frame for gold, look at that guy too. Man, if you see a solid new high just above this one, that's all you need. You really need above this one. You'd like it above this one. But if you just show your face up here, you go bam, and then you just go higher. Right, you break through this, that's a really good thing for gold. So what are you looking for this to break down since it hasn't curled up yet? You want this to break down completely and show you the way lower by making a new low, and then come up and retest to do what? Reject and show you the what? Right shoulder that could have been. You want to see that direction down. You don't have to get the direction down every single time. You can still look for rejections here, but you can see that. And then we can add into our price action. So from price action, obviously you're seeing that pathway down. That's one piece. But the other piece is, where would these retests come in for GC, gold futures here? They would come in very tightly right here. I think you are very likely to go test all the way up to, 333 pretty much. 333 looks like a great level for a retest, right? You just go wham, and then you roll. If that's the case, then maybe this is our period of time for some weakness here in the market going into Wednesday morning. It'd be interesting. So you're still watching this. You're going, okay, if I show that pathway lower, where would I look for decision making for downside? Probably around 333. See if that rolls. Boom, you get it here, and then you see if it makes that new low, and you're confident with it, head and shoulders. Yeah, that's a really good look, though. 2 hour is able to curl up. Now, when these things normally curl up on a 2 hour chart, which we still have 53 minutes left, they do like to pull back. These things do like to pull back. I'm not convinced that this is, if it is a straight shot up, I'm probably going to be calling it a bull trap. Uh-oh, AMC pulled back. You don't want to see that. AMC didn't pull back. The thing is, okay, the only time the 30-minute crosses and it's okay is if you're holding price and you're sideways. As long as, I'll say this, as long as AMC, if it can curl down on its MACD, I will allow it to curl down on its MACD. Say, as long as it holds 390. No news on AMC. Nothing like that. I think everything's related to like a little bit to Bitcoin. If I had to guess, I would say a lot of this is in relation to Bitcoin, but AMC deserves a higher price. Their business is better than what it was a year ago. I'm not saying it's like my favorite company. I think it's a great company that functions really, really well and efficiently. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it probably deserves a slightly higher price than what it's at now. If you want the squeeze, though, this is what you got to see. Hold price, go higher. Do it, Richard. I'm down. You know? I might even hedge it this time. Like, actually, that's not a bad idea. Let me look at AMC hedging. Just in case it, like, just tanks out of nowhere like usual. Like, you can hedge this stuff. If I'm still long on it, it doesn't mean I can't do my regular practices, right? If I'm worried about a drop this week, well, it's going to cost me 10 cents to take 350s right now. And the monthly expected move is 3 something, 330 or something. So it's like, I can hedge it these times too. It's not a bad thing. Check if TLT versus the 10-year is actually up. Their timings of when they open and close are very different. Okay, so you'd mainly want to be like, if the 10-year is up, then you know TLT was actually down, even if the price is higher. Like, it genuinely is like that sometimes. I'll take a look to see if that's the case. If they're both up at the same time, then it's probably a bull trap for TLT. Yeah, right away, that looks like the 2 hour wants to go. No new low. It originally gave the higher low here. We were saying, watch if we break this low. 2 hour can get a reaction here. What you're hoping for with this almost equal low is that you react up dramatically and then you go down. Because why? That means that TLT tests the lows. That means that TLT could drop down into this type of area and test these lows and then turn back up. That would be fantastic. I'm looking at TLT for a potential trade, by the way. I've been kind of looking at it lately. okay, now dip down into this area, then we can go again, right? It's got a block too. It's like the same as the market. So if we see TLT randomly start to do this, and the SPY is not yet, I would expect the SPY to do that. They're kind of matching right now. So we're moving a lot with yields. That's a very interesting thing to point out. And then we blindly buy TLT. My blind buy TLT level is 82.50. As far as it stands, though, for TLT, you're looking at this and going, all right, that daily can turn around. It doesn't have the daily divergence anymore. But this is the point where you just go, you know, if this thing just takes out these levels and then comes back in and goes again, it could be a good level for it, right? It failed it once, right? It failed it once. That's a big deal. And it's potentially gearing up to try again. What you don't want to happen here is you go, and then you fall again. But 82.50 is my blind buy. So if we get down there, you'll hear me say, hey, say goodbye to 10 to 20K right there. I think last time I did 15. We can look at 5 minute. It just kind of depends on what you guys want to be paying attention to today. I know a lot of people will be asking about this guy. Nvidia, once again, showing the pathway higher for now, but you see the big sellers. Okay, so these guys can get strong again and just boom. But what you want to look for is right in there, right? We want to look right in here and see, okay, can we hold up in this kind of area? Can we pull down into here? Maybe even take care of gap, really shake people out, and then do what? Left shoulder, right shoulder that could have been. Bam. Left head, right shoulder. That's what you're kind of looking for here for opportunity. If it just goes, it just goes. But I'm talking about opportunity now. Opportunity now for the SPY, I believe, is at 584. We'll see if that changes or if we're able to hold up better because this is extremely bullish. But if you were part of Patreon, you were watching Money Making Talk, we were talking about, I said, there is risk right now. You have the potential to grind, probably for a trap setup into the end of the day, right around that options expiration. They push out some of those options, and then you start to see the market tumble in the last 30, 15 minutes. I think that is the case. Do I think it's a great case to short? Not necessarily, because you have good price action here. I think it's more the opportunity of like, hey, yeah, okay, take my money on my longs, watch it pull back. Then when everyone's losing their mind during this around FOMC, you just go, okay, I'm pretty comfortable in here of trying to take 600s again. And then if we lose key levels, I can say, all right, I'm out. So then you kind of have this big reward here and a little bit of risk there. And if you want to manage before that, if you see something bad, it's good too, right? You're always utilizing your skills. That's what I'm looking into. Now, I'm not saying that has to happen like this week. I will take extended out options for that, at least 2 weeks. You will rarely hear me take 1, 2, 3 DTE, 0 DTE. You almost never hear me take. But 2 weeks is a relatively good one for me personally. Get out of jail free card. I think Nvidia has potential to shake up the market, but right now it's such a positive trend that I think it would be bullish. Because what day is Nvidia earnings? Wednesday? Yeah, after tomorrow. I think Nvidia will be bullish personally. I think this will drop down into this area, and then it'll start to scale up, and then we'll see a new high. And I think we'll go for 140. If not 145, you literally can get to like 145. Very good level. I'm waiting too. Sebastian, I see you in the Patreon chat. If you guys want to chat in there, that's fine. I just won't be able to click over to it as often because I'll forget. Pretty nervous about shorting it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Will's saying pretty nervous about like shorting anything for a pullback because of how bullish it looks, right? This doesn't have to do that. Even Nvidia doesn't have to do that. Nvidia could take care of business where? Literally starting at this wick. Like Nvidia could take care of business anywhere in here. So literally it could go wham and then go up. So you're looking for the time that it goes up. You're not necessarily, you know that this is very likely, but you don't know where in this little box it will stop. So you're looking for the time that it goes pop, and then you go, yeah, okay, that's it. And if you have shorter time frame skills, that's fine to look for, like 5-minute skills that can show 30-minute reactions. That's kind of what I'm doing with this right now. I'm showing all of those divergences and how they're getting more significant on the 5-minute. saying, hey, this has some risk here. I still think we could see another upward move into like 30 minutes before close, but we have to break through 589.95, even lower than that, 589.86 very confidently. We got to lose that. We got to see like a sell and then one of those wick retests, and then we just keep going. If you want to wipe all this out today and see a bigger pullback for tomorrow, because you literally could just go 1, 2, 3, be done, go up. You want to see it, wipe it out, come back for it, wipe it out again. That's what I think. But I think it. I don't know enough, and the structure is too bullish. It's too algorithmically bullish too for me to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna short the hell out of it. RSI be damned. RSI's not liking it right now, man. It's saying like, hey, there's something brewing. There's something brewing. One day RSI is not extremely overbought yet, so we have room to go up. I think we have room to go up, but as I look at this is where like that room to go up on the daily, on a daily chart, a 30-minute or even a 2-hour retest could just look like a wick. So I'm not saying we have to see something absolutely terrible. I'm just saying we're going to see a pullback, probably into this type of area, if not this bar. So if we're going to pull back in some way, that doesn't necessarily mean bearish. It means we're going to continue the trend up. It's just, are we going to continue the trend up now or after a 30-minute pullback? And I think you have the argument for both. So therefore, if I have the argument for this being able to go higher, then I'm not going to bet on lower. I'm going to look for a lower to get in on. The only thing that worries me is us tapping our head into weekly expected move so fast. Like, I understand we already got something unexpected with the EU thing that Trump announced, but you have a lot of things going on this week that can shake you up a little bit more to get you back in those moves. As of tomorrow, you have FOMC. As of the next day, Thursday, you have GDP growth rate, quarter over quarter, second quarter. So you do have -3 for that. Initial jobless claims right at the same time as GDP. You have more bill auctions, and then you go into core PCE the next day on Friday. So you literally have a lot of risk adding up to this week, like end of this week. So one pullback here, you surge, and then you start to run into the risks of GDP, in my opinion. Yeah, this will technically, especially if we extend higher, this could be the trap for Friday, and then you see that 2-hour and 30-minute divergence, and you get your daily pullback, weirdly enough. That's actually possible here. Yeah, you do have the possibility of a pullback, like on the daily scale. Once this daily is able to get a little overextended a little more, which is I think what Trading Strategies is talking about. So I'm saying see a wick down into here, right? That doesn't look bad on the daily, and then wick it up, and then we push through, and then we punch, and then we maybe punch again just a little bit higher, and then Friday we start to see this thing go down. Or hold up, get indecision, see one of those Monday moves that like takes you below critical areas. Monday moves have been still crazy. This is another technically a Monday move. And I think we would have been getting a pullback today if we saw the move on Monday. But we'll see. This is all like talk in between just being patient. I don't think 568 yet, but what I just said, Doko Lad, could build up into a trap for Friday that then sends you down to take care of 564, actually. That would be freaking awesome. That means we get a delayed summer rally. I think SoFi will be fine. I'm not selling. I haven't sold SoFi yet. SoFi looks pretty decent. Like, I think it gets the retest. So if your contracts can't withstand this, remember for the SPY 2 weeks, I have SoFi for 4 or 5. I think I have a full month. I have a full 30 days from when I bought it. So this for me, I don't really care about a 30-minute pullback. If I wanted to, I could even look at the value of those options if people get real bearish on them and like make the premium go way down. Okay, I can like buy back into that, and then I can see this thing go up. Especially if I get that to curl up again, I can make that decision based on the pricing of the options. I'm not bearish on SoFi. I'll be bearish on SoFi with the 2-hour though. I'm not necessarily expecting SoFi now to be able to take this out. I actually think SoFi could build up to this gap fill and then see rejection this week. And then watch lower levels, right? We'll watch for lower levels. I don't think we'll look too much lower, but we'll see how it shapes up if it rejects. So really, if you're talking about SoFi, I'm looking for that $14 pretty much tag, like $13.95 this week. If I find it this week and I see risk, like this, right? Okay, we see on the MACD the 30-minute curl down, right? And maybe it's tight in here too. I would like it to extend a little more, then sell off, then come back up and kind of fail this retest and show me something here. So I don't know if SoFi sees like $15, $16. It needs a big breakthrough moment. It needs to beat this high. If it beats that high, my whole plan will change, and I'll tell you guys about my plan changing, because that means, hey, hold on for dear life. That means hold on. Wait for like next month's monthly expected move or something. That's what that kind of means. I don't think it's like bad, Bean. Like I said, hedging for AMC makes total sense here. This is the booty clapper zone. Either the short sellers are going to get clapped here, or AMC is going to get clapped here. And that's just the truth of it. Like AMC's kind of playing with like and following a little bit on the market. So if the AMC wanted a pullback moment, now would be the time. But this is your short sell, and you know who else gets their booty clapped here? Well, it's a battle, right? This is your battle zone for the week, and you're there. So it's not just the short sellers, but the short sellers can also flip it around and start booty clapping the retail traders. So it's who's going to win. So I want to hold that price. If you curl down the 30-minute, I still want to hold that price. Technically, based on the price action here, it could go all the way down to here and still be technically bullish, and that would be a pullback. But we know AMC, once it hits these levels, likes to flush. So what we want to do is maybe even look at hedging in this type of area. It doesn't matter, right? You can hedge for a few days. If you see a mean drop, it'll help you save some of your money. It's not a bad thing. Do you think Apple could ping pong? I think so. I think Apple's in ping pong mode. A good thing for Apple is where this gap is right in those buyers. So if you do get the pullback for Apple early, one, that could be a roll moment. So it doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, buy right here. It means if this goes down and shows you the higher low, that's where you kind of go, okay, now I'm risk on. Break me through both of these. Maybe even since you geared up more, you break through a lot, and then you start to ramp up over time. Like the individual stocks aren't calling for the daily pullback like Apple isn't, which is very interesting to me. All right, here we go. Roll that thing into power hour. We like to do, if you didn't know, for the closing streams, we like to do 5 minutes for the power hour. If you guys want, for power hour, we can put up the second standard deviation. Dash line here, we can get that. I literally was like, man, I'm not even going to put out those second standard deviations. And then we hit one, and I was like, Jesus. 587.84. So you have like a 95% chance, or actually, let's say it this way, because now you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time to get back into here. You're not seeing dramatic selling in any way. You're just seeing more like kind of sideways, slightly down, which is perfectly fine. Means we might squeeze this thing into the close or into the last 30 minutes and then try to sell that thing off. So this means right here is 95% of the time you will see resistance here. You will pull back down in there. As we don't have much time left, it starts to become more improbable with less time. And so what we want to consider here is just like, okay, you are seeing a 1% moment. So how many times do you think when you see a 1% moment, you get a pullback? you do get a pullback very often when you see a 1% thing. I mean, let me show you another 1% one that pulled back dramatically, right? The last big 1%, like literally just like the 10% type of moment. Weirdly enough, this was for the entire week, though. You saw a mean pullback here. Just a rude pullback. Can you guys hear my headphones jingling? Okay. Some music or something real quick because they keep turning off. So you notice you get the mean pullback, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in the price action right now. Is you're getting all of this up, but you're not necessarily, the only little pullback you got was here and in pre-market on super low volume. So I would be inclined just to be like, I'm not necessarily bearish here, but I'm not necessarily excited to be holding a shit ton of longs if my expiration is closer than it is further away. If I'm targeting like 2 months out or something like that, I don't really care. Oh God, I forgot to watch what I gotta load the boat with today. Dang it. That's on Netflix. I think Netflix is just a vigorous stock that'll eventually come way down. I think it's just insane. I think this thing's nuts, and it's still showing you that pathway, I believe, just slightly higher. Here, let me do this. 1209.70, 1209.68. Do you see how that's like just barely showing you the way higher? So weirdly enough, for Netflix, it continues to be resilient. It continues to do the things it's got to do. It sets up this point. It goes, we don't even lose that point. So for the time being in this move, you still would like to see this come down and then be able to go back up. That would be fantastic. If you just have enough, you try to break through. 2 hour for the time being, setting up a bunch of divergence points. So on the 2 hour perspective or the 30-minute perspective, you both don't want to lose this. This doesn't want to lose this. This doesn't want to lose this. So that tells you if you lose this, you look for what? Rolls, right? You look for rolls. It could even be smaller than that. It literally could be this, and this could be your shoulder. This right here. That's Netflix is creating some big bundles, right? You always want to pay attention to those bundles, those points of consolidation and things like that, where price is kind of there. That's liquidity. So am I bullish on Netflix? I've been saying Netflix is going to come down for a while, right? Until down here. And then I was like, okay, Netflix is going to go way up. Remember the divergence? Bam, Netflix goes way up, way past where I thought. But now, just like the low, now it has daily divergence above, which means its days are probably limited, which means a daily pullback could come 1, 2, 3, and then you figure your stuff out down here towards 1058. That's what I think. That's what I see. But if I was confident to take a put on Netflix, I would. Netflix is resilient. Netflix is a crazy stock and it continues to do crazy things. So I'm still inclined to look for bullish trades for Netflix. I do not take trades with Netflix. I don't think the company is that great. I really don't. I think they have a great thing going, but they're making moves that are just too fast. Companies move too fast to get big evaluations. I think Netflix is one of those. I think they had a great thing going. They went way too fast. And I don't know if that's like pump Netflix to because why are they shorting AMC? That kind of deal comes into my head too. What's the target for Tesla? For Tesla, it was. Do you see what could be looming here? There's something real funky here with Tesla, and you can see it on your 2 hour right there. This is like what we saw with Meta, where it kind of grinded, and then it goes higher and it sets up that tiny little point. So if that 2 hour crosses down, watch out. Because you're going to potentially break the low, right? Now you have a 2 hour low to pay attention to if you're looking at price action. What's likely to happen if you lose this? It's very likely to do this. Bam, bam, bam. This or this in here. Okay? So what is the 30? Like, should we be worried about that right now? The 30-minute is suggesting no. The 30-minute is saying I'm going to continue the move, but I might take care of the gap first. right? I might come back. Look at this whole zone. You like really, we should be doing a zone for this one, right? Anything that has a bunch of price action there. Okay, so what does Tesla want to do to go higher? It wants to break through all of that liquidity, come back down into it to grab those orders, and then it'll turn back up. And then weirdly enough, people will get really bullish here. And then if it rolls, you know that probabilities start to add up to uh-ohs. Okay? So now you kind of know how it goes higher, how it goes lower. And right now, the 30-minute with that positivity is leaning towards another move higher before you potentially see that sell come in. As it stands, Tesla has room to go as well towards 365. So if you get a pullback here, that could turn up from 340 and literally go to 365. If you break down below this low right here, you start to open up the door to all of this down in here. This 320, 310 even, those type of areas. So pretty much, this could walk you up the plank into the actual daily pullback, especially if we like get up here at some point. We flash our head up here with a 30-minute divergence. The daily kind of shows you, okay, we're good. Bam, come down. That's crazy because we're supposed to get good news over the next 2 weeks, but that's how it's shaping up right now. We'll see if it doesn't go that pathing though. Because right now you're barely seeing selling. Look at this. You're barely. Oh, wait, it's starting to ramp up. Lose that damn low. Let me go read chat, guys. Yeah, Tony, we need the Q call out. Bullfag target is 430s eventually. I think so. I think you're at least looking at 400. But after the daily pullback, right? If we see all those things shape up, we have to say, hey, the signals are saying there's a daily pullback coming in here. And then if they curl back up on the 2 hour and you see that thing start squeezing and says, I'm going up, right? This is why you look at things, at least I like to look at things on different time frames. Daily, I'm like, it needs a pullback. That's my opportunity. But if I'm not going to get that opportunity, then the 2 hour is just going to whip back up and we're not going to lose the previous low. Gold we kind of discussed, if you want to go back a little bit, but it pretty much was look for us to make the new low for a head and shoulders. If we do not make that new low, then you can, and if you don't make this new low and you take out this, what are you? You're back on the bull, right? You're back on it. You're back on it and you're going, right? And then you're probably going to, potentially even wipe all this out because the daily is holding up really well and looking like what? It wants to cross up into positive territory. So something could be brewing here is what the signals say. But at the same time, price action is like, but I'm so bullish that I can turn up whenever I want. It literally could turn up right now and just keep going. So shorting will be difficult. AMC came down to test 390. Something weird is here, man. It's very hard to tell if this thing is like gonna just continue going up or gonna pull back to 584. I would love the pullback to 584 though. Okay. You've got ASTS, similar boat. Higher low. It's retesting right now, so weirdly enough, ASTS could start to see upside soon. The 2 hour could go a little bit higher to try to take care of that gap at 2670 is how I see it. But in order to get there, the next point that you want to break through to see if you're going to fill that gap up there is $26. Like break through $26 for ASTS. Daily time frame. If you can continue good price action, this could mark a daily higher low, and really you just have to get above, I'll say you get above 2960 and this thing could rip. This thing could rip to 34. But you gotta be really watching price action there and make sure it stays good. You haven't done the work yet. You're doing some of it, but not all of it. Come on, 30-minute. You can give us one more little 5-minute thing down here. Yeah, looking at this is where it started to become a problem. Notice it gets more significant, and that's where you run into problems. Now we've taken care of business on the 5-minute, haven't we? That could be it. That could literally be it because we moved so sideways. And what did we not lose? This low right here, right? We need to lose like 589. I would say the wick too. I want to lose 589.80. Don't let the cues. VIX, if we continue to violate these little 5 minutes, we're never going to see a 30-minute curl up. You're in the last little bits, right? Where did we say VIX? We gave you the low point, 1870. 1870 is like the last point where VIX can get to see a reaction. Hey, Mel, thank you so much for subscribing today. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. There's something weird going on here. And I can't tell if it's weird, like, hey, we're going to scream higher. HGX, what are you? You're doing the same thing, but reacting into the sellers. You really want to come down and take care of that gap, it looks like. XLU, not necessarily same thing, just another 2-hour higher low. HYG. HYG trying to show pathway higher, but running into the gap. This should produce some volatility. We should see some volatility here. And here we go for that next 5-minute move up. This 5-minute move, it has to blow us out of the water to remain just squeezing. This 5-minute move has to take you above this, weirdly enough, and then you have a chance to stay good, but you're still on trend for just all the divergences. I'm trying to dig into it the best I can because it's very, I don't even know how to put this to words. Like for a trader, this is what makes you kind of in like gray area because you don't know how high up this algorithm wants to go. But at the same time, you know that pullback is the next opportunity. So sitting back and being patient for the SPY, if you're trading it, seems like the opportunity there. I did think you had a chance to see 600 this week. That's why I had those contracts. This is just fast. And I don't want to get caught in some kind of trap during this week. Hey, AMC, able to find some support right off of 590. That's nice. That's what you want. It can, you know, and you would prefer never to curl over the 30-minute again for AMC. So keep using it. New all-time highs coming in June. I kind of agree with you. I think those all-time highs come... I would like to see all-time highs at end of June. End of June would be best. I normally don't, but I'm understanding better. Yeah. Yeah, you are correct to think about 600 this week and even next week, but it's just how these things shape up or get to 600 can lead you into a massive trap. I would say anywhere from Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday, we'll look at price and come back to this channel. We'll look at price and be like, man, something's not adding up here. You have to squeeze higher to go higher. That's probably the situation we'll run into. Just like right now in this 5-minute, you have to squeeze higher to go higher. We'll probably run into that moment at the end of the week. I don't like those moments. I don't like moments where you have to squeeze to go higher. You're in that moment right now for the 5-minute, if you didn't know. So you're looking kind of at something like this could happen with the 30-minute. AMC 5 didn't go negative. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Heel toe digging into those 5-minute charts, looking for like a 5-minute triple divergence or some shit. Taking profit on 5-minute triple. What do you got? Oh yeah, you completely went sideways here. This is very good for AMC. Now you just need to see what? You need a squeeze. Like AMC, weirdly enough, is in the similar spot of like, it needs to squeeze higher to see higher. That's the crazy part for me. Nvidia is very key. That's why I would like Nvidia to take care of its business, right? If this 2-hour curling up in positive territory is really going to be there, and this is going to be the moment where we see 140, 145, okay, give us the 30-minute pullback first. Gear up for it. right? Gear up before earnings. People bet against it. Then you go into it and you really show that positivity and you get a nice little trend move maybe up higher and you just keep going, right? Nvidia can carry the market on its back for a little bit. As long as we don't run into something like a 5-minute just like, or I'm sorry, a 30-minute like trap in some way. We'll look out for it. Yeah, we're pretty good at finding those little traps. Yeah, okay. So price action wise, you're not really worried about this yet. You're not really, price action wise, you're not really suggesting any kind of downward way down yet. You never saw the wipeout. You need a wipeout bar. If anything, it's maybe like just this to here, right, for a retest. But you need to wipe this out, man. You need to go wham and then go grab it. Yeah, I agree with you, Osmama. Yeah, if it pumps into earnings, what do we call that? What do we call a pump into earnings? Or even if it drops down, right? If you're bearish or bullish, if it goes your direction in a very vigorous way before the earnings, we call it the get out of jail free card. There you go, AMC. Keep it going. Now get past all those wicks. Crazy. Great stuff. I should have had more confidence behind those calls. That would have been nice. I didn't believe fully in that divergence. Now we get like one more attempt to bust through and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then it really looks like we might fail that attempt. 5-minute here. Sorry, it's down here. Boom, just squeeze up to this one and fail. That would be your failure. You fail right now. Like, you're weak enough. You're literally weak enough to fail right now. Come on. Give us the 30-minute pullback tomorrow. Let everyone get bearish going into FOMC. And then let it be bearish after FOMC and set up some kind of little divergence for us at 584. And then we just go, thank you. Everyone needs to start going bearish on this shit. And the yields need to start pumping before FOMC. I want to see these yields on the 30-minute. They keep going down, down, down. I want that to stop. You made a new low. This is great. Okay, so tomorrow, you made a new low. So does that mean if we see a big reaction here, what's it doing? It's retesting. It could retest all the way up to here. It's got to get through some stuff in here, but it could retest all the way up to here, which means that is likely to do what tomorrow? Turn down. This is very likely to make a lower high now. And look how negative you are too. Like if you're talking about MACD, right? Technicals, MACD suggests watch for a lower high. Wow. That'd be great. I think it's kind of adding up. I think you might actually get your 30-minute pullback. I think it might go up into the end of the day today, really trap people. Still not confident enough to like take a big bear position on it. Not sure about the previous upward movement. Gee. My other charts are being really laggy. Look for a 30-minute continuation here as well. Yes, look for the 30-minute to continue the move first. So with GE, you have to acknowledge when things are changing, right? This was changing down, but what did it just do? It changed right back up. Boom, right? You were looking for the retest, Maybe it's going to give it to you, flags out, gap up, boom, new high. Okay, look at the MACD. Look what sent the MACD down, right? What sent it down? Some big divergences, right? And what you want to do is say, okay, well, one, when I was making all those divergences, did I have divergence on the 2-hour? No, so I was looking for a 2-hour pullback here. Now the 30-minute has curled up. It's showing you that price action. So what is the 2-hour shaping up now to make a top? The 2 hours trying to give you that divergence. So you're trying to figure out now, hey, is this going to complete that divergence and have a good chance to reverse the trend by taking out this low? Is it going to do this? Is what you're wondering. And I'm going to tell you that you're very likely to do this and this first without curling down your 2-hour. I think you're very likely to see that. Why am I judging that? Because what do I utilize from the course that tells me like, hey, the 2 hour is weak or it could experience a turn down here and it has divergence. Well, then we dig back into the 30-minute and we see, wow, what a positive trend. We see no divergence in the near price action. This divergence just got wiped out. So now we're weaker than we were before, but we're in a new sequence here where you could go like this, tap off that 5-day, come back up, and boom. Once you see that up there, you go, wow, that 2 hour is very likely to roll. Then you cross through the low and you start that downtrend, right? Then you make this kind of look. Yeah, I think this is reaching for a top, but you want to make sure to know how the top forms. And this is a lot of the time how it's going to form, at least for a great, great trade setup. If you just see tomorrow, the 2 hour break down, or even this 30-minute, right? We see the 30-minute just break down through this low. Then you would go look for the retest to break down again. Left head, right shoulder. So if it's a little quicker and it doesn't make those divergences, okay. But show me this one again. Show me this one Thursday. This one on Thursday can be very, very nice to look at. We'll take a look at it. I don't have moves for it, but very, very good suggestion there. Who suggested that? Noah, I really like that suggestion. You're paying attention at the right time. Give it the time to tell you I can go bearish. Right now it's saying I'm bullish, I'm bullish, I'm bullish. Let it tell you I can go bearish with a high probability, okay? Very good one. Very, very good one to see if a trap forms. If no trap forms, no trap forms, bummer, right, Noah? No money loss, no money risk, no money anything. If the trap doesn't form, if the setup doesn't form, and I don't have my 3 to 5 reasons, nope. I'm waiting on GEV, same thing. Is it about the same? 30 minutes adding up to a bunch of weakness here. GEV is climbing up a cliff, and the 30-minute is suggesting to, at this point, you might want to make one more. It's just the 2 hour is already weak. You just haven't seen a good 2 hour confirmation. I think it's this with this one. If you get a solid 2 hour confirmation on GEV, yeah, if you get a solid 2 hour confirmation, it's kind of saying I need to reload, man, on the daily scale. Like this could be like 2 weeks of pulling back. You might give it all the way back to 324. That would be bad. You're hoping you hold up at gap fill at 400, like right around 400. Yeah. I don't mind that one. It's a lot tighter. I think the daily divergence was really nice to you, though. You see how daily divergence, every single stock that we see with daily divergence is just up. It's just up. So yeah, I know that they're related. I can see Vernova over there, but yeah. A lot of, I mean, weird thing is people going kind of bearish right now. Like on the SPY. PCC kind of going bearish, like kind of at that 87, kind of like neutral, right? So you would say like for the day, looking at PCC, if we look at this on the 30-minute, we see this is overall neutral to what? Well, throughout the day, you've been neutral or bullish. So what would people not expect? What's probably cheaper still? This stuff. And so now the market maker is going to shoot it up, make those expensive, make these cheap, and then we'll come back down. Right? People went pretty bullish this morning, and you could see take profit. We could see a lot. I think that you're just looking for the opportunity here. 30-minute pullback. All right, JM, that's fine. I'm not, but whoever's coming out and saying the market has to go. I'm not ever. Have you heard me say the market has to see something bad here? Has to drop by 5%? Has to drop by 2%? I've literally been saying that this can hold up anywhere in here. It can hold up in here, but our real opportunity would be here as people maybe get overly bullish. I also said that I'm not going to short the move. If I thought there was some big move down coming, wouldn't I short it? Wouldn't I buy puts, buy long puts? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. This is very bullish. Everything about this is bullish, and a pullback would be bullish. And that pullback, we have no idea where it could stop. So I'm just saying, if it does this, that's awesome. Then it does this and this, that's fine. Do this, then do this and this, that's fine. Do this, flag out, and do this, that's fine. This is all bullish, and I'm just waiting for that opportunity to set up. Don't put words in my mouth and say, like, this guy just said that we have to go down to 584. I'm literally saying the opposite. I'm saying you don't have to, but 584 might be the opportunity if it gives it to you. All right? Yeah, JM. I'm glad that we could tie it together. Okay, I'm glad we could tie it together. I'm with you on this, my brother. Like I am with you on it. 100% with you, right? 100%, right? I'm just being open to price being at key levels. I understand taking back 590 is huge. You literally could hold up at 590 all day today and see that rip higher that we talked about, that 5 minute just rip, wipe out divergences, start all over again, and go to 600. Crazy. But yeah, we're on the same team, brother. For sure on this one. Uh, my stocks that I like are pretty much everything over here. So anything from Apple, or actually, I would say anything from SPY, VIX. God dang it, I trade too much stuff. Everything from VIX all the way down to like JP Morgan is what I like to trade the most. These are what I actually trade. Some of these I take way more trades than others, but most, I think all of them I have taken a trade on before. And then there's some interesting stuff I pay attention to down here, like my investment I should probably mark off. Target's my investment, right? Everything else I'm just trading back and forth options. I don't want to put too much. I'm pretty heavy in cash still. Can you short the VIX? You can kind of use an ETF to do like long puts. I think there's like UVIX and SVIX. Where's Martial Law at? If Martial Law still came in here, haven't seen him in a bit. But when he comes in, he's a big SVIX, UVIX player. He just plays both of those all the time. So I'll long-term hold Target just because of how juicy I think it is. And if it goes down lower, I'm talking about like really invest for long-term. And then I'll sit and just trade. I don't need to watch, like you guys know, I don't need to watch Target at all. Like I don't need to watch Target at all. Why? I'm an investor. I'm not expecting it to just be straight up for the next week and then I get to sell it for 100% gain. No, I want to invest and make 5% a year. Oh, you like Hood? Long term equals 3 days. Hood I do like, but once again, I would like the daily pullback. And I think you're on the brisk of seeing shit, you might be seeing that sooner rather than later. So Hood's another one that kind of needs to squeeze to go higher, in my opinion. At least your technicals, one, you're seeing some way higher by pushing to a higher price, but if that's a trap, you could see a mean little downtrend here. 30-minute would say lose this, then lose this next. So you might see that bounce, 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 bounce down, right? I want to see it go tag this 49.86 again. That's what I want for Hood. Or if it wants to remain bullish, I'm not going to get into it at these levels, but if it wants to remain bullish, you know what you need to see? You need to see a breakthrough. You need a breakthrough, hold price, and then you can start the game all over again and start to do this stuff again, like way up here. So as of right now, the pricing looks really, really good. Like price action looks really good, but your divergences on the 2 hour are really adding up to, oh God, we're about to slip is what it looks like to me. I think 30-minute might, yeah, 30-minute could have another one. This is what I'm saying. You need to like boom here. You need to see some kind of squeeze here and get rid of a lot of this bad stuff going on across the board. Hood looks great there. Like it does. It still looks bullish on the daily. I would just like to see it, right? We're always, as traders, we're always looking for when the opportunity will be. I would not buy it as it's sitting right now. If I got a daily pullback, I would definitely look at it. What up, Rajiv? SoFi's, yeah, SoFi's all right. I just like the signals. I like the technicals there, so I chose that one. But DJT, SoFi, and Palantir all looked good last week. Uh-oh, AMC did break down. No, it's still at that 394. It just didn't show pathway higher on the shorter time frames. Say uh-oh AMC when it loses 390 and like loses the gap fill. Like once it gets below 324, like that's where you say uh-oh. I'll look it up. ASTS. I'll put a marker in it and go down some. I like going down rabbit holes, my dude. Like, why do you why do you think I have AMC and GME? I love rabbit holes. I love conspiracies. Oh shit! I never turned tunage on. Let me get a tune going for end of day for myself because you guys can't listen to it or else YouTube won't let you guys watch me hang with and watch stocks and that kind of stuff. Lame. Don't worry, I'll put it low so I can focus. How them launch codes? They're going well. Good thing we got that 30-minute divergence, man, going into Monday. That was lucky. That was lucky because you wouldn't have saw this bounce coming if that would have happened. Maybe you would have 2-hour retest, right? Let's get the launch codes. I don't know. We got to watch a certain video for that. And Richard's working on a shit laptop. Five-minute doing what the 5-minute needs to do. Damn, it won't lose it. Oh god, does it squeeze and wipe everything out? We just keep going up. Fucking A, man. It really can. It's just holding. Holding. Why'd you choose Target? Because it's an extreme discount. I try not to think too hard when investing. I mean, you can, especially if you're doing like SPY. Like if you do it in ETFs, I think you should think about it. But these stocks, you have to realize investing can be very loose, especially if you know like position sizing in those investments. But as far as Target goes, why did I like this? Because it was down on the daily, down X%. It was down a massive percentage here. This is terrible. This is awful. This is the worst stock in the world. It is garbage right now. This is garbage. This is absolute garbage, still down 64%. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. That's it. You went into his good zone. You went into and passed through almost like what, 2020 lows. I just I don't get it. Like they're going to be opening more stores. Like I just don't think it's that bad. And I think that here's the thing. You're like, "Oh, I think it's bad." And I go, "Yeah, I don't think it's that bad though." If it makes a daily divergence, I'll buy another pack. Probably more. I'll actually like full on go into it. I dig it. Oh wait, we're going 5-minute for the end of the day. We got to see those crazy moves. But God, this 5-minute will not break down. I'm not confident with Palantir right now. It's too much chop. You're seeing a lot of chop. Now, my suggestion with Palantir would be, hey, it's holding the low. So that means what? And it showed a way higher without making the way lower. So that means what? Overall, Palantir is that way. That's what the 30-minute is saying in this little chunk of price action right here. But once you start to add in this and resistances and this wick right here, you add all those things in, you go, man, could it get through all that? That's the question mark. So I don't like question marks too much, right? I have a question mark about the SPY. I don't have too many questions about SoFi with where it's at. I don't think it'll produce like Palantir will if it sees an uptrend, by the way. I understand Palantir is a beast. Yeah, I like Palantir as far as price action goes, and it tapped into my zone, and I really like it. Now, as far as it stands, I think you could be walking into something bad. But I still think that we have the opportunity to extend that for quite some time. Yeah. if you like make a flash move and you close a high up in this wick and then you fall down, that's a problem. You're not making a new high. So if anywhere through all of this mess, you just go up on a 2-hour and then you lag behind, you reject, that's not a good thing. So I'm not like, I will tell you right now, you can go look in the past. I told you exactly where I was. We talked about it back here. I said, where am I a buyer of Palantir? I'm a buyer of Palantir, I think, at $94. I think that gap is like perfect. So I think the daily pullback could take you into that because you have daily divergence here as well. So, it'll probably be like, boom. That'd be sick. But that's just so down. I was really wanting that. I think summer rally, so I don't even know if that happens. It's like, it's just summer rally should kind of be here is what SPY is saying. So I don't know, unless Palantir sees a flash sell. I like Palantir. I think that's the problem. It's holding up well. I like it. It's just I don't like how much it's been chopping. That's a tough one. Oh, long term? Long term for Palantir. With me, long term, I just like to buy at lows. So 95 could be a great long term, like long term. It could be a great starter. Oh, in a day, it's not going to go that low. No, no, we're talking about like potential opportunities on the daily scale, right? Separate the skin from bone. Okay, it's 1650. Oh, you're sitting pretty. You don't even care then, JM. No, I'm not even talking about those levels. Yeah. It's overvalued, yes, but so is every single thing in the market right now. Everything's overvalued. But yeah, if you're long term and you have 60 or 57, you're fucking solid, dude. Yeah, I'd say 95 is if you see 95 in the month of June, then that would say, you know, that would be a potential area to really pay attention to for uptrend. Thanks, JM. I appreciate that. It took a long freaking time to understand how these things move. Where you coming from, Mars? Nah, dude. I'm a good old Midwest boy with my business administration degree, marketing history, and a shitload of time looking at charts. You guys should be thankful that my business failed in 2020. Yeah, no, I'm just I would say regular dude. Oh wait, let me see here. This is actually important. I would rather lose this wick. I really would. This is fine to lose, but this gives more credibility. See how it's ramping up? That's what I want. But I want it to keep going. I want it to smash it. I want a rug pull into tomorrow, all the way into I want a rug pull all the way into FOMC. And then I want turbulence around FOMC, maybe even causing the downside trap to be solidified. And then we see upside with like Nvidia earnings and de-escalation with the FOMC. We'll see. This is so good though. Long spine tomorrow or short. For me, I would be sitting on my hands for tomorrow. Tomorrow is like risk off. Tomorrow's like risk off, see what happens around FOMC, and if it gives you the benefit of going down to 584, you look for the turnaround signs. We could literally go up into FOMC and set the trap above our weekly expected move. That's scary. Okay, a 5-minute rug pull. Let's put it that way. A 30-minute rug pull. I'm not saying that, like, you gotta go, stop going so drastic, guys. If I'm saying rug pull and I'm on a 5-minute chart or a 30-minute chart, that does not mean like the entire market's gonna just fall by 20%. Stop going so drastic with your comments, guys. A rug pull to me is like maybe a 0.5 or a 1% drop here to get people nice and bearish. Worst case in my mind is gap fill. That might be a big percentage. Oh yeah, 1.78%. I'm talking about a quick rug pull. I think worst case is my thoughts on it are here 1%. That would just be a retrace. That literally would just be like a retrace. 50%. Don't get so scary, guys. God, you're going to convince yourself that this is bearish. I am a one before I am a man. Yeah. Whenever you think, like, just remember who I am. Just remember who I am, guys. Remember who I am. I'm this guy. I don't hang out here or here often. Sometimes my plays get out there and that's where I sell them. And then we come back into the middle and I buy them. And I sell them, sell them, sell them, sell them, right? What am I looking for now? We are here. I'm looking to get for price to get back to the middle. That's it. I am not someone who plays the extremes. That's not my game. But man, we have really gotten rid of all of those divergences. Like we've already milked out all of this. Like this 5 minute could burst. Are we really gonna go up into close? Come on now. You're a doomsday prepper. Yeah, literally 587 works. KKK. KKK. Oh no. See, that's why you gotta change your name. Someone told you this the last time. Someone said that the last time. Someone was like, do not make that your name. Took 5 SPY puts. Just make it okay. All right, let's see. Let's go look at volatility. I'll look at my other charts for a bit while you guys hang out. AMC still holding that 390. That's nice. Let's go look at volatility. Are we seeing confirmation yet? Oh, 30 minutes trying. No confirmation yet, but 30 minutes trying. I'll give it 3 minutes here to see if it at least gives a confirmation. Nothing yet. You're going to need all the way until like after close to see. Oh no, 5 minutes. You going to fail it? Double down. Richard's doubling down. Hell yeah, Richard. Let's fucking go, dude. Willis. Oh, God. Hey, Richard bought long dated options, guys. He has time. That's why he's doubling down. He's got plenty of time. Oh, shit. I love the AMC battle. My arm's numb, but I'm good. Is that because you're having to be on your phone instead of that laptop? Just want to wait for more info. Are you ready to hear that like 20 times tomorrow? We gotta be patient for the data. The data, guys. We're waiting for the data, which is true. You are looking for unemployment to go higher. You're looking for jobs to get worse. What else are you looking for? You're looking for the spike of inflation due to tariffs. You're looking for that. Companies are already doing that, though, by themselves. They always do it early to justify the higher price than the inflation increase. The two things at the bottom of my screen are the MACD and the RSI. This is the relative strength versus the moving average convergence divergence. But that doesn't tell you a whole hell of a lot. You guys know who have taken the course. You're like, yeah, Luke kind of says like, yeah, knowing those acronyms is super great and all. But knowing how to actually use them is important. It's not just it curls up and everything's dandy, right? There are ways to utilize them even better. Is gold starting to pop? Shit. Oh, shit. It's about to go down. Gold didn't make that pathway lower. Uh-oh. You might retest gap fill or even break out. If you break out, you exceed 315 for GLD. 315, what is it exactly? Like 315.69? Ooh, yikes. One. Yeah, then you pull back. I'm listening to a song. It's making me think of Richard with his AMC calls. It's that gasoline song. Gasoline by I Prevail. And they were like, burn it all down. And I was like, yeah, that's Richard right now. He's like, please. Wow, SPY resilient here with this move so far. Very resilient. Fuck what they said. Please. I mean, you're doing what you gotta do, but you'd like to see every wick taken out here to start that downtrend fully. Good choice of music, damn right, dude. I just saw them in concert. You know the crazy part? I think the lead singer guy had like cancer in his throat or something like that, so he couldn't sing this anymore. And I was like, damn, that's sad. Just a reasonable pullback. It will completely defy reason if it's the moment. That's the funny part. It will literally defy reason. Hell yeah, that's what's up, heel toe. Sometimes you, oh, here we go. Let's go. All right, here we go. Here's the ramp up. Ramp it into close. Ramp it into the close. And then you literally sit in limbo and just go, man, are we gonna get a 30-minute pullback? That's what you do. If you see a just demolishing and we see another move up in the morning, oof, you can continue that all the way into FOMC towards weekly expected move. Weekly expected move, just so you have them, 592.92 in purple. Weekly expected moves are always in purple. The up above is the monthly expected move as well, 591.79. We will look for if we see the shapings of a 2-hour lower high. That is how we end up going to fill gap at lower levels. We will look if divergence pops up towards 600 this week. That is how we could do it. If we don't see those things shape up, then I would highly expect this market to start to summer run and see some kind of squeeze to all-time highs. There are things to be aware of, but it's kind of like, just be aware of them. And if you don't see them, you don't see them. So that means not X instead of X. No curl up yet. Still breaking down, just not aggressively enough for my liking. Huzzah! I don't know why. I happened to look at chat right when that popped up, and I had to say it. I mean, you would like a pullback would be technically, if you weren't wanting the mega squeeze from AMC, then a pullback here would be great for the 30-minute for entry. But I don't think you want a pullback ever. I think you just want to go if you want that moment to happen. TLT. TLT going up to that gap, starting to fall. Did it go higher? Nope. So we will be looking for TLT to go potentially fill gap at 84.50. Something's going on. Oof. Oh, HGX is not happy right now. Yeah, VIX looks like it wants a 30-minute trend move, but it could just be pullback. On the shortest of time frames, they're overbought, but on daily time frames, not necessarily. If you take this into consideration with the SPY, the 30-minute even, you could say, is like tapping into those type of areas. But as far as like daily goes, you've done the things you need to do to get down a little lower to get away from it. So you could pop your head above. You could pop your head up here, meaning we could see this literally just pop off. Like if you just see this thing go, it's just, you know, if we don't see those weaknesses in here, then there's no weakness in there, right? Which means it's still strong. That's why I'm taking into consideration like the way that people are reading into what I'm saying. I'm like, do not think that I'm bearish. I might be bearish in the sense of like a 30-minute trend move down, but that's it. Other than that, we have to break this low to be bearish again. You have to break all the way below here. You have to break 575.50 to be bearish, truly. Do something. You poking it with a stick, Kroger? It is tempting, Dave, but man, it hasn't worked out a few times, right? Well, one time it did. Let's go 5 minute for the last bit of the day. Not able to keep breaking down. That 1 minute's frustrated. And then it just needs a boom above some of these wicks. You see all these wicks? That's a 1 minute downtrend. Hello, little girl. It's coming at the world today. The big comes the bad comes the good. But I'm gonna live my life like I should. We will have a YouTube video coming out for you tonight. Tomorrow, maybe a little bit of a wonky day. Tomorrow, I have a chance of not being able to do the afternoon stream. I'm gonna try my best. I think I'll be able to, but a video at night tomorrow might be a little tough. Hopefully, best case scenario, I'm able to do it all for you guys, but time's limited tomorrow. Time is limited tomorrow and Friday, weirdly enough. Friday, we do have my mom's birthday coming up. Rocket Lab poppin'? I've heard that a few times. Is that Rocket Lab? Am I right? Because, hey, it's all the world has even seen lately. Oh, and do you see what Rocket Lab did? That's so sick. Okay, cool. That's what you needed. Okay, this is perfect. Do you see what I'm saying? The market needs to do this on a 5-minute scale right now to keep going. It needs one of those moments, right? You see all the divergences. Oh, we're going negative. This is garbage. We have the lower high. This looks awful. Holds up in a wick that came down and just goes bam. You need that bam from the market right now from a 5-minute standpoint. And if you don't get it, might get the opposite reaction. Because I'm a hideous loser, a microphone abuser. Happy birthday, Mom. I'll tell her you guys say happy birthday. She'll like that. She never tunes in. She's got to get her hair done and stuff. I would cook for her, but she would just bash my cooking. She's one of those types. Take her to a steakhouse. A downvote since you still haven't returned to roll. God dang it, Willow. Maybe after this week, right? Now I know why you want to hate me. I will, IYC, man. I'll say it's from all you guys, all right? Stream is greater than a video. That's good. Yeah, stream's greater than video. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for tomorrow. Flip hated. Slow fade 589 on SPY with correlation of 5900 futures. Should be nice entry before the move up. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm saying that move up is possible. I just can't see the world where that's not a trap going into FOMC at a weekly expected move. I just can't see it right now. Maybe that's the little bit of bias in my head. Maybe that's the risk guy in my head, but IWM. I don't have the levels up right now for IWM, but IWM doing what it has to do, right? Took out this high. You just really want to see that retest. So the only thing that's confusing me is this right here, right? The pre-market, right? The pre-market able to get there, and then we see the retest because we had the day off. That's why it's so confusing. Because you would have saw that during market hours, right? That's kind of what we're looking for, say, now. So we're taking into consideration that that happened and saying, okay, let's look in here, right? Like right here towards 205.88. See that get down to there and then just be able to hold up better. That can happen. But if we need to still take care of this to grab more orders, we're going to gravitate to here. We could see like this, and then you curl up into positive territory right in there. But either way, it ends with a curl up. So we just have to pay attention to this stuff being able to curl up. And really now we're like, if we're just going to keep squeezing, we're going to see something crazy here. So I'm leaning towards pullback. I think pullback is my next opportunity. I think pullback is the most probable thing going into tomorrow. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but that's what it looks like. The only way it starts to become like, hey, it's not, is tomorrow we just blow this out of the water. We keep positive trend and no problems with FOMC. It's just a lot. And then the next day you have to have no problems with GDP coming in at negative 0.3. And then the next day it's just a recipe for like, what the hell? New high on AMC. Rocket Lab looks good. It looks like 30-minute pullback into the next move or just go. You guys get so excited about this stuff. I love it. Doug one to complain. Lisa the bloodstain. Damn, I'm on like the Limp Biscuit radio right now. Yeah, new high. Very good. Still don't want to. Now you have a dictated potential low there, right? That whole area, that 383. Still don't want to lose 390. Just keep 390 the entire day. All right, here you go. This is where you can wipe all this out. This is where you can see that extension and just wipe a lot of this shit out. Still did not break through the low. Still did not break through this. But man, it is, I would really say that squeeze versus a drop down to like 587 is like 50-50. Squeeze to here or drop to here is pretty much 50-50 for the morning. Rough. So I always lean towards what's most probable. No, okay. Okay, that's a good question. Volatility can go up with the SPY. Volatility can go up with upward price action. Now, why would that happen? You will most of the time see that type of behavior at this yellow line, weirdly enough. You will see it towards that yellow line, the upper one. You'll start to see that behavior. Why? Because people who are still like, yeah, this market looks good, understand the things that we talk about too. And they're like, wow, this looks good and all, but like, damn, it might need to pull back. So what are they going to do? They're going to hedge. And that dynamic hedging causes volatility to go up and the SPY to go up at the same time. That's one big reason for it. Take that cake. That's not a stupid question, by the way, okay? Don't call that a stupid question. A lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, and Richard's going a step further and explaining what volatility, like the VIX is. Very good. Thank you. Awesome. Gotta love our chat, right? Let's see here. What was I just gonna look up? Oh, you're saying fear and greed's in the greed. Oh no. Oh no, heel toe. Maybe we should like see if good things happen tomorrow too. Maybe I'll hedge. I don't know. I mean, this is the hedge place. $4 for AMC is the hedge place. You just say like, hey, I'm making, if you're in at the low, you're like, yeah, I'm making $1,000, I'm making two, making three. You go, all right, I'm gonna hedge that shit with like a couple $100 for a week. Uh-oh. We did what we needed to do to squeeze in the, at least in the aftermarket. We'll see if that can continue for morning. We did not lose that 589.80. God dang, come on. Give us the pullback. Maybe we'll see it after tomorrow. Risk it for the biscuit. Rip! Oh, new high. Uh-oh. 1 minute new high. So now you're going to go into a 1 minute uptrend. You're going to see really fast retests. All right, so let's just flip back to technically that should be like, hey, we're not going to lose this low. We'll retest in here and we'll try to go up. This is where we try to go up. We do our best. 5 minutes still struggling, but this is saying we're going to try here. But it's the end of the day, so I don't think you can do much with it besides be like, oh yeah, take on a bunch of risk for tomorrow. Feeling cute today. Might hedge or something. I like that. Say no. Or as my daughter says, say no, 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 no. So funny. She says some stuff in English, some stuff in Spanish. And I'm like, no hablo. No hablo. GME rising. GME curled down on the 30-minute for a sec. Risky move, GME. You need to go up, buddy. Do not lose a low if you're going to curl down, buddy. Sacred silence is me. Somewhere. Okay. 1 minute's trying to flip. See if it can flip around the 5. You don't have enough time to see by end of day, but we'll talk about this maybe in the video tonight. Actually, what I could do is, since we have FOMC and we've already talked about the pullback multiple times, what I could do is not make a video tonight. And then I would be free all day tomorrow. I might even be able to watch. Is Jerome Powell talk? Are they going to talk after FOMC? No, no talk after FOMC? Damn. But I could hop on live earlier and potentially put out a YouTube video as well. Maybe that's the move. What do you guys think, chat? Yeah, FOMC is tomorrow, Wednesday. You guys want a YouTube video tonight with this price action, or do you want one tomorrow? Yeah, we just have minutes. You want a video tonight? It's tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow? You want to vote? You guys want to do a vote real quick? If you guys want to do a vote real quick, let's do a vote, because that'll help me decide. Because I'm really like scratching my brain, like, we could just squeeze higher tomorrow and then see the 30-minute, and then the 30-minute might be risen. So talking about the 30-minute pullback here is correct, but also could be very incorrect tomorrow. You got to wipe it all out. You got to see good things here. Let's do a little, if you guys don't mind voting real quick on what you would like, what you would prefer. All right, there you go. Vote for me if you don't mind, and I'll try to do whichever one you guys vote for. All right, let you guys dictate this time. Just this time. Oh, we're voting fast. Good. I think tomorrow would overall be better, but I want to leave it up to you guys. You have the 1 minute trying to come back. You did have the 1 minute more corrective though, definitely, or not more corrective, more reversal though. So it's very weird. It's such a weird look. I need to jump on me. Puts on for tomorrow, Richard. Rippin'. Puts on for tomorrow, Richard. Sitting on my hands until till that bell is what I'm doing. All right, that's what you need to see. You need to, I told you, you need to see just a ripper, and you need to make a new high as well. You need to rip through and wipe out all these divergences. You haven't done so yet. If you look at the RSI, you need to wipe some of this out, which means you at least want to wipe out the trend, if not all of it. You want to just start over. Then you can start over again and keep squeezing. Okay, so you need to rip here. If you don't rip, I think there's some risk that you could just see like a little bit up and then you start to fall. So I'm not the happiest with that look just yet. It looks very squeezy though for now. After hours going to be great for the memers. Hell yeah. Should I go look real quick? All right, let me look at the vote. I'm snapping the vote right now. Okay, tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow, guys, okay? 70% of people. How many people voted? 55, 56, 57. Most people still clicking on tomorrow. Okay, we'll try for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the better timing. I think it would be the better timing anyway. Yeah, we're going to end that. Hey, thank you guys for voting on that. That helps me just like clear my head on things. I appreciate it. Thanks for the thumbs up, Milky. I'm about to have to go make a Milky's upstairs probably. What are the memers doing? And you kind of want the market to keep squeezing if you want AMC to do well still. You want to see it do, like, I think you want to see AMC above $5 before the market turns, but I am visceral doing original. Thanks for posting the donation. Like, you don't gotta donate, Mr. Joshua. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop up there. You know what we're looking for. We're looking for where this thing will stop. We know that shorting this is not necessarily the move, but we're looking for that next time we get that little opportunity, right? Whether it shapes up like this, whether it shapes up like this. I'm still waiting for this kind of moment. So just so you're clear on that, I'm not calling some kind of massive rug pull. I'm calling for like an inter-week, intraday rug pull, if anything. That would be nice. But the 5 minute is doing at the end of the day what it needs to do. But it did not cross through this high yet, so we'll have to see it by morning. So maybe tomorrow being the video that you guys decided on, maybe tomorrow we can actually have a better outlook for what's going on here, because this is a very, very bullish look that you don't really want to go against, but looks like it needs a mean pullback. So, man, we'll see at the end of this week. This is kind of crazy. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, doing all that. Appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great night, and let's just be patient. Wait for things to set up a little bit better for that 30 minute. I think that would be very nice at this point. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Peace out. That's what I'm saying, heel toe cam. I'm not taking that off the table at all. I wish we would have saw the new high. That would have gave us some inclination, but either way, hope you guys have a good one. I will see you guys first thing in the morning, all right? Patreon members, if we see some interesting price action, I will put out one of those morning updates we've been doing, okay? Peace out, Girl Scouts. Till next time, GG's. Peace out.